And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Takes by Fans and be a part of the conversation. And come watch live daily, noon Eastern at twitch.tv/takesbyfans, or go to our website, takesbyfans.com. Go to the watch tab, and whenever we are live on the website. We are live on the website. It's easy as that. So, however you decide to watch, just make sure you're watching for all your sports content. Alrighty, today is Tuesday, and oh boy, we got some football tonight, y'all, and it's good to go. We can jump right into it. I mean, no COVID cases for the Titans. Huge deal. So the game is going on as planned, as scheduled tonight. Titans, Bills. When's the tip? Or when's the kickoff? 8 o'clock? 7 o'clock. So even early. Woo. Oh, boy. We're going to have an early night tonight, folks. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock in Tennessee, so it's going to be a great game. Both of these teams are currently in the top 10 of our power rankings, but we are going to update our power rankings today. And, based on what happens tonight, we'll have to come back, maybe, possibly, maybe, who knows, and update it again tomorrow. But we are going to stay on schedule on our Tuesdays. During the NFL season, we update our cash and trash list for the NFL, and we also update our power rankings. So we will do all of that today, and then if we have to, because the Bills, win by 40 and we have to, place them a little bit higher, we'll do that. If the Titans, they win by 50, we'll upgrade or update our power rankings again tomorrow if need be. So, let's kick it off. Monday Night Football on yesterday, and it was a pretty good one. We got the Saints and the Chargers, and Justin Herbert was looking real good. 20 of 34, 264 yards and 4 touchdowns with no turnovers. You heard me right. No interception. He fumbled once, but they were able to get it back. So no turnovers officially for Justin Herbert, and we absolutely loved what we saw. Drew Brees and the Saints took a little bit to get going, but then they kicked into, usual Saints at home gear, and they end up winning in overtime. Another loss in overtime for the Chargers this season. That's 2 times they've gone into overtime with Justin Herbert. First time, his first game starting against Kansas City, and now here he's against the Saints and just can't get it done. And that's kind of what we're learning about Justin Herbert is the arm's looking good in the games. He's making good reads, but they doesn't translate to wins, and you got to win in this league, and it's unfortunate. Is Justin Herbert becoming unclutch? It seems so. He's not clutch enough. He had a drive down there in the their last possession to try and kick a field goal, but they just didn't get close enough for Bagley because he misses it from 50. Unfortunate. Then we go into overtime. Drew Brees gets the ball first. They drive down, get a field goal, and then it's Justin Herbert. Can't even get a first down. Can't do it. They get a penalty, backs him up a little bit, but there's just nothing he could do. It's unfortunate. I don't know why this Chargers team is kind of like losing all these close games. I mean, week 1, they won by 3, but then week 2, they lose by 3 in overtime. Week 3, they lose by 5. Week 4, they lose by 7, and now we just get another loss by 3. So close games that they're really in, and they're looking good, but the only thing I can really come up with is that they kind of clam up during, later in the game. They don't try to, they have a lead, but then they don't secure it. They just kind of play very conservative. They don't let Justin Herbert continue to rip the ball out because we know the arm is good. We've all seen it. We've seen the 60-yard passes. We've seen the dime 40-yard passes. This man can throw the football very, very well, but I feel like they kind of hold him back a little bit with their play calling. This team tries to be a running team first, and I can definitely appreciate it, especially with a starting rookie quarterback, but you've got it. I mean, this man has proven the talent, and he's doing it against big competition. He did it his first game against the Chiefs. He was looking pretty solid, but they wouldn't let him open it up. Everything was behind the line of scrimmage, and now it was kind of like the same against the Saints. He had some good plays, but then they clam up when, the game is getting tight, and they try not to lose the lead, but then they end up losing the lead, so you can't play, scared. You just got to go out there and play your game of football. They try to, they try to be a running team and build off of that, but then when they clamp up, they just go to the running and don't let Justin Herbert open it up, and I think that's why they're losing these close games. So we have to start taking a look at why are they losing these close games. Do we have to start looking at Anthony Lynn? Is he really a good coach? I don't know. He hasn't really shown us anything. They were in a win now mentality last season with Phillip Rivers, but they couldn't get it done with him, and that's a veteran quarterback who has experience winning games and being in the big moments. Hasn't made any deep playoff runs, Phillip Rivers, but he definitely, he's a veteran who knows how to win games, but they couldn't do that last year, and now you bring in the rookie, and you're kind of limiting him. Saints get the win, and you want to know why they get the win? And it's exactly what we have been saying these first 5 weeks of the season for the Saints on why they've been losing. Because Michael Thomas has been out these past couple weeks, Drew Brees is looking lost. He's looking like he has no receivers to throw to. He's looking like he has no weapons besides Alvin Kamara. But that changed, and I'll show you exactly the turning point of the game. So let's break it down. In the first quarter, really nothing was going on for the Saints. They just could not get anything going. Barely was sustaining drives. 5 plays, 12 yards, have to punt it away. 6 plays, only 15 yards. Once again, have to punt it away. Then they get a little bit of a break. 5 plays, 18 yards, but it cashes in a field goal. So they had great starting field position starting on the Chargers' own 48-yard line. So they had great field position, so they were able to only get a field goal out of it, but they still scored. And then they're back to their 3 and outs, and then Drew Brees threw an interception, and now they're down 20-3, and then after that they go 5 and out again. But what happens? It all turns around on this touchdown drive in the first half actually. Emmanuel Sanders, he was targeted 5 times. 3 of those 5 times came on this touchdown drive, including the touchdown pass. We get a 6-yard pass to Emmanuel Sanders, an 11-yard pass to Emmanuel Sanders, and then a 5-yard pass to Emmanuel Sanders, back to back, folks. And that really gets the Saints back in the game. Drew Brees is like, oh yeah, I have Emmanuel Sanders I can throw to. That's good. He's a really, really good wide receiver. Takes by fans has been saying I should throw to him. So yeah, let me try to throw to him. He did it last game, so I don't understand the hesitation to do it again this game. It took them, their last possession of the first half to finally start going to Emmanuel Sanders on a consistent basis. So he ended up with 5 targets in the first half. What happened in the second half? They continue to go to him. Emmanuel Sanders finishes with 14 targets. He had 9 in the second half, 12 receptions for 122 yards. You absolutely love to see it. They're getting this man involved in the game plan, and that's what the Saints need to do. Stop just going to Alvin Kamara every single play, either running or throwing it to him in the backfield. Teams can sniff that out. If you're a one-trick pony, yeah, you might get some, a play here, a play there that it works, but overall in the fourth quarter, they're going to shut it down. They know what you like to do. So the Chargers were doing that, and, Emmanuel Sanders goes off in the second half because Drew Brees finally gets him incorporated into the offense, and that's really why the Saints win. You throw to him 9 times in the second half, and he catches most of them. He has 12 receptions, 14 targets for 122 yards, folks. This is why the Saints won last night, because Michael Thomas wasn't in. They have to go to another wide receiver, and they choose Emmanuel Sanders, thank God. So Saints are able to pull it out. A little slow start, but, kind of like the Chiefs, the Saints team, if they get off to a slow start, they have the veteran head coach. They have the veteran quarterback. They have all the pieces offensively and kind of defensively to kind of turn it on, but they just need to get it going. And, Emmanuel Sanders was kind of that jump start the offense needed. They go into halftime only down 10 now instead of 17, and they just claw their way back. But let's look at what the Chargers did in the second half. They had that kind of 17-point lead at one point. They scored 3 touchdowns in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they scored 3 touchdowns on 6 possessions in the first half. So not bad overall, but let's check out the second half for the Chargers. Where did it go wrong? Because they only scored 7 points in the second half, folks. The offense was not as good as it was in the first half. So we get their first drive in the second half, 6 plays, 12 yards. That basically went nowhere, folks. Then they had an 8-play, 27-yard drive, but it just stalls, unfortunately. How did this one stall? On third down, what happens? It's a pass incomplete. It's a 3rd and 11, and just can't make the throw, unfortunately. So they have to punt. Saints turn that into a touchdown. The next Chargers possession. It's a 9-play, 25-yard drive, 4 minutes in total, but it results in a punt. They just couldn't get it going, but then they finally get a touchdown here. They had a big play, just a huge throw. Let's watch this. This was for 64 yards by Justin Herbert. We know this man's got the arm. Nobody's doubting it. But, these plays that go deep, I mean, look at wide open. Why? Because the defense is pressuring, because everything was dink and dunk up to that point. So when they let this man air it out, good things happen. But I don't know who's calling the plays. I think is Anthony Lynn calling the plays? He may be. I'm not a fan of head coaches calling plays. I absolutely hate it. Obviously, there are some exceptions to, my rule. Obviously, Andy Reid. But, some coaches are designed for it. Like Adam Gase should never be calling plays. I don't understand why he's calling plays. Adam Gase has been the main play caller when he was in Miami, and now when he's with the Jets. And look at their records, folks. The man cannot coach. He cannot call plays. I hate it. You have enough on your plate as a head coach. You should not be calling plays. Hire a good offensive coordinator that you believe in. You're the head coach. You have full control over your personnel, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, for the most part. So you should be able to, as a head coach, delegate that play calling role to the offensive coordinator, somebody you trust. You've got too much on your plate. You should just be overseeing. You should be inputting. Hey, I think we should be doing this to your offensive coordinator. Then the offensive coordinator comes up with the play that would fit what the head coach wants to do in the grand scheme of things. But I don't like head coaches calling the plays, and I think Anthony Lynn may be calling plays. I will have to double check that information. But yeah, it's just something about it. They're just not explosive in the second half. We get a punt on their first two possessions to start the third quarter, punt again. Then they finally get the touchdown in the fourth quarter to go up 7, but it's Drew Brees, baby. He's going to do what he does, and, he's cool, calm, collected. He doesn't need just a big pass to get it done, and they tied up, and then we get Bagley with a chance as time expires to hit the field goal, and he doesn't, and then in overtime, you give it to Drew Brees first. He doesn't close it out initially. The defense takes over, and Justin Herbert couldn't get a first down in overtime. So let's run the highlight package real quickly. See what we've got, go a little bit more in depth, trying to kind of point out what we've already been saying. But here we go. In the first quarter, we get a nice run there, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. No, he gets tripped up at the 20, but great field position. I mean, this Chargers team, they've got so many great running backs. It was Austin Eckler, but he got injured, but now it's Jackson, and he's having great success. So it really seems like this Charger wants to be a run team first, try to take it slow with Justin Herbert, but I think it hurts them overall. But then we get a great throw here by Justin Herbert. He also wants to be called Herb. Herb is his nickname, so keep that in mind if you need that information for anything. But what a great throw to your best wide receiver, Keenan Allen there. Absolutely great throw by Justin Herbert, Herb, if you will, on the run in the end zone. Great throw. A little behind, but hey, it's Keenan Allen. And then we get the missed extra point. Maybe a little foreshadowing to come up what happens in at the end of the fourth quarter to potentially tie it. But then we get Justin Herbert. He goes down. I mean, this Saints defense is the real deal, folks. I mean, they really have playmakers everywhere. Cameron Jordan up front, and they were kind of getting to Justin Herbert in the second half. All right, Saints getting their first points on the board, a 48-yard field goal right at the end of the first quarter, and it goes. So now we've got a competitive game, but this is where we start to see the Chargers kind of run away with it. Now we're going to get some big passes by Justin Herbert. The play-action pass, let this ball unwind, young fella, and look at that ball, folks. Absolutely magnificent. What a throw. This is what we're talking about. The man has the arm. This is from the 40 all the way down to the 15. You do the math. What is that, about 45 yards in the air? Absolutely fantastic. Great pass right on target, wide open. Cool, calm, collected in the pocket, and now they're set up inside the 4. We get Justin Herbert coming back all the way to the left, and once again, right on the money, folks. This man is a fantastic passer. The arm is accurate. The arm is strong, and this is definitely the future for LA, for the Chargers franchise, and he's going to be one of the best. I mean, we're going to be talking about this man 10 years down the road. We are going to have to be talking about this man in the same conversation as Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson as they at a skill level. Not, just because he's a dual threat, he's really not a dual threat, but he's up there in these young, evolving, emerging quarterbacks that will, kind of take over, the league from Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers when they are done in the next 2 or 3, 4 years. So here we go. Justin Herbert once again in the red zone. And what does he do? Delivers an absolute dime again. He's not turning it over in the red zone, which is something that we see a lot of rookie quarterbacks do. We see Daniel Jones do it. But this is Justin Herbert, his 4th game now, and he's absolutely fantastic. He's cool, calm, collected, not turning the ball over, throwing it deep when those plays get called. All right, but here we go. Let's stop talking about the Herb and start talking about Drew Brees. Here he goes in the red zone. Who does he go to? Emmanuel Sanders right there, down to the 5. Perfect. This is when it starts to get going. He does it more in the third quarter as well, getting their best receiver now that Michael Thomas is not playing, Emmanuel Sanders. And then we get Drew Brees over the top, doing his best impression of Superman there to get over the pile. Absolutely fantastic by him. Way to sacrifice your body, Drew. Kind of a gutsy call here. They had no timeouts. You're on the 1-yard line. It's 3rd and goal with only 14 seconds left. If you don't get this, everybody has to kind of hurry up back to the line and run it again. But, they don't have to worry about that because he gets it on the first try. So no worries there. And Drew Brees cuts this lead down to 10 and has all the momentum going into the second half. Alrighty, we had a little bit of a time jump here, but we get 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and that's going to be a good field goal from 53 yards. Hey, Bagley, this is how you do it. Watch Will Lutz. That's how you hit a 50-plus yard field goal. Keep that in mind because we are going to see you. All right, but then we go into the third quarter for the Chargers. Back to the run. Not letting Justin Herbert air the ball downfield, which has been working. I really don't know. I know they don't have the best wide receivers, but they do have Keenan Allen, who's very, very great, and just not a lot of wide receiver depth. But I still think they have to be airing it out, pressing this the Saints defense. Don't get too comfortable because you have a lead. They only scored 7 points in the second half, folks. They start to clam up. All right, and then we get Drew Brees going to another receiver. He's actually a tight end, but a great catching tight end in what is his name? Is his name Brandon Cooks? Am I bugging? Yeah, that's Jared Cook, my fault. Yeah, Jared Cook, absolutely fantastic, wide open, perfect ball, beautiful ball. I mean, we expect this from Drew Brees, We don't expect it from Justin Herbert. That's why it's so special, and that's why we, love talking about it. But, Drew Brees here, we're used to him throwing the dimes, but that was a perfect pass to tie it up. And now we get Justin Herbert, 3 minutes left, and it's just wide open. A little bit of a blown assignment by the defense. I mean, nobody was even in 15 yards of that, man. But once again, let's look at just the accuracy of Justin Herbert. This ball was pretty much on the money. Let's count the yards, see where he threw this from. 25, about the 27, all the way down to the 25. So, I mean, almost close to 50 yards. Very good. It was wide open, but hey, we still give the man some credit there. But that was their only touchdown. That was their only points in the second half, folks. 3 minutes left in the game. So they weren't doing much offensively in the second half. Was it the Saints defense or was it the offensive play calling getting clammed up? They're clamming up, folks, shrinking. And then we get Alvin Kamara. What a catch. Oh my goodness. That's when you go to your skilled players, your best players down when you need a catch, and he catches it beautifully, absolutely beautifully. And then we get their second backup quarterback, Taysom Hill. He goes and just takes this one in for the touchdown himself. Look at him go. The quick speed, the quick decision, and he's just able to run the 10 yards for the touchdown. Ties it up. That's absolutely clutch. Sean Payton bringing out all the stops. You love to see it. Justin Herbert, one last chance in regulation to end the game. And what a throw. The best throw of the night for the man. This is what I'm saying. Why is it taking 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter for you to finally start airing out the ball? You had the lead. You just sat back and watched it disappear, but now you're calling late in the game to Justin Herbert to go make the throws, and he does. You should be throwing the ball 50 times with this man. We saw Joe Burrow throw the ball 60 times in some of his games. Justin Herbert should be throwing the ball 60 times. Please, Anthony Lynn, let this man throw the ball. It's always accurate. It's beautiful. His arm talent purely is magical. It's fantastic to watch. He can make the throws. We have to watch this one more time. Actually, I might have to bring this one up in the Game Pass section because I do want to slow it down just to really see the full aspect of that catch because it is truly great, folks. And just the ball placement as well. He threw it where only the receiver could get it. We got to slow it down a little bit. Let me get it up. Hang on. Are we week 5? Yep. Saints, Chargers. Here we go. Let's get to this play. Fourth quarter. Right before the game-winning fail kick, unfortunately. And we are right here. Is this correct? No, this one. All right, here we go. It's 3rd and 1. Justin Herbert knows he's got to push this ball down the field if they want to have even a chance at kicking a game-winning field goal or go into overtime. Let's see what happens. But here we go. We're going to get Justin Herbert in a clean pocket all day to throw, and he's really going to take advantage of it. Any second they'll snap the ball. We got it in the slow motion because we have to just watch how beautiful this ball actually is. We can also count the yards on it. He's going to launch this one from the 30. Look at that pocket. Knows where he wants to go, all the way from the 30. The ball's in the air. It looks like it's tight coverage, but he finds just the space. Look at the receiver. He throws that high because he knows he has a tall receiver. Throws it towards the sideline where only the receiver can make a play on the ball. It's just everything about this throw, from the catch, from the position of the accuracy of this ball, and just from the catch to be able to hang on and actually go and high point the ball and go get it. It's truly just something special. So he throws it from his own 30. This one got to about the 35, maybe 33-yard line. So very good throw there, about 35, 40 yards if I'm doing the math right. But just what a throw. Do we get another angle of this? Let's see. Here we go. We'll get another replay of it here. Just look at this ball. It's beautifully thrown. The best throw of the night by either quarterback. The clutchest throw by Justin Herbert. Just look how high that ball was thrown. The receiver was the only person with a chance, and that's what I love. That's what I want to see in quarterbacks, giving your receivers a chance to go and make the play. Justin Herbert does it as good as any rookie I've seen, as good as kind of any quarterback in the league currently. Absolutely love what I've been seeing. But then what happens? They try to get, a couple extra yards, which Bagley actually would love to have. Unfortunately, just doesn't go anywhere, so now they have to bring out the kick unit, and Sean Payton plays this one beautifully. You always ice the kicker. If it is game time situation and you have a timeout, you always ice it. You live and die by it, but you make this man go through the process again and try to kick it again. And also, the best part, or the best way to ice the kicker is to do it late, right before the snap count, and Sean Payton does it as well. So this man executed this ice of the kicker absolutely to perfection. Waited really to the last second. I mean, the holder's ready for this, folks. The D-line just shifted in. I mean, the snap was literally a second before the timeout. That's how you accurately ice the kicker, folks. So Sean Payton, a veteran coach, he's been in this situation multiple times. He knows what to do, and you always ice the kicker. I live and die by that. I will always ice the kicker. If he misses it, as I ice him, hey, we live with it, but I will live and die by it. I would bet takes by fans on always icing the kicker if I was the head coach in this situation. And you don't do it early. I see a lot of coaches do it early. The kicker is not even set up yet. The kicker is not even his 3 steps back, and they're already icing. That doesn't work because he isn't in that headspace. He isn't in that kind of momentum already. So Sean Payton, beautiful coach, just plays it absolutely perfect. So they ice him. Now he has to go through that routine again. We see him drilling 58-yarders pregame, but this is in the real game, and we know game time is different time, baby. So Michael Bagley, he's only 2 of 5 from 50 in his career, so not the best, not even more than half, and we're gonna see the less than half part here. So here he goes, lining up, looking confident, has a chance to go 2-3 and beat the Saints at home. But what happens? The kick is up. Here it is. It's up and it's drifting. and it doinks off to upright. You hate to see it as a kicker, but the Saints get bailed out here. You hate to see it if you're Justin Herbert. Truly, you threw a beautiful ball to get a last-second game-winning field goal at the end of regulation, and the kicker of all people blows it. Unfortunate. So let's see what happens in overtime. Let's go back to the highlights here. We're gonna go back to the Justin Herbert. Great pass. What a pass. Best pass of the night. He had 4 touchdowns, no picks, no turnovers. Just an absolute flawless game, really, from Justin Herbert, if I'm being honest. Just never let him really open it up in the second half. So the Saints get the ball first in overtime. They don't get the touchdown, as we saw. Alvin Kamara trying to do his thing. Gets out to the 35. Yeah, about the 35. 33, 34. Great return there. And then, hey, Will Lutz is like, hey, this is how you kick a field goal, baby. It's only 36, but hey, our quarterback was able to get us to the 36-yard line and not to the 50, Justin Herbert. So well done there by the Saints. And now Justin Herbert, he's got 4 chances, folks. We're going to skip to the 4th and 7 play. Justin Herbert quick, but they tackle him right short of the line, and that is game time. Justin Herbert would like to actually, see you throw the ball to the line of scrimmage. You can't trust the wide receivers all the time to go and get you that yards after catch, although it was kind of placed right on the money where the receiver, had the chance to run after the catch, but that was just great defense in clutch time to shut it down, and the Saints walk away with the win. Let's look at the Saints stats because we haven't done that quite yet. So we get Drew Brees, 33 of 47. I mean, this is a veteran quarterback that you trust to throw the ball 47 times. I really would like to see what Justin Herbert would do if you let him throw the ball 47 times and not all just dink and dunk. So he goes 325 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The pick obviously isn't good, but hey, he was able to get a touchdown, go for 1-for-1 touchdown to interception ratio, so not terrible. Alvin Kamara only 45 yards rushing, so they weren't rushing the ball a lot, but him and Latavius Murray combined close to that 100-yard mark where we want the rushing game to be. And then let's look at the receivers. Look at this. Emmanuel Sanders, we already talked about him, but 122 yards, 14 targets, 12 receptions. Absolutely fantastic. Alvin Kamara and Jared Cook, top 2 of their top 3 wide receivers, or their top receivers. You know how I feel about that. Not really great about that. I like to see your receivers actually doing the receiving, and your running backs and tight ends being used only in kind of short distance situation, goal line situations, red zone situations, but they kind of use them all over the field here. Classic Saints offense. That's why it kind of struggles a little bit, I feel. But Alvin Kamara, 74 yards receiving, very good. Jared Cook with the 52 yards receiving and the touchdown pass we saw in the highlights. But going forward, I mean, the Chargers' future is bright. They just need to know how to win these close games. I mean, these close losses date back like 3 years, folks. When did Anthony Lynn get there? Is there correlation there? I think we have to start drawing some points to why are they losing close games? Why can they not close out? They were up 17. Why are they blowing big leads? I think they shrank. They get too conservative, and you can't get conservative in this league because teams can score quickly. We've seen the Chiefs do it. We saw the Seahawks do it. We see teams constantly do it. So teams need to keep their foot on the pressure. I get he's a rookie quarterback, but the way he's been playing so far, he's really not looking like a rookie, a classic rookie. He's not making the rookie mistakes. He's not turning the ball over. He's able to work very well in the red zone and in clutch situations. We just saw him right there in the highlight package, that nice 40-yard throw to set him up for a game-winning field goal. He did all he could. Unfortunately, the special teams just can't get it going. So they lose another close one. All right. So let's update our cash and trash list now. We got Monday Night Football out of the way. We are going to have to wait for Tuesday Night Football to really get a full scope of the week, but we will we'll update the cash and trash list if needed, and we'll also update the power rankings if needed based on the information that we see on the game tonight. One other thing, there is no Thursday Night Football on tonight. Truly unfortunate. It would have been nice to have Monday Night Football, Tuesday Night Football, and Thursday Night Football, but Thursday moves to Tuesday tonight, so I guess we'll take that. All right, but this is the cash list going into this week. We had Russell Wilson, Steelers defense, Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, OBJ, Dalvin Cook, and Mike Evans. Now let's see who stays, who goes, and who gets added. We'll go right from the top. Russell Wilson, yes, we are keeping this man on. This man was clutch. His stats weren't the greatest. 20 of 32, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not the greatest, but he was absolutely clutch. We all remember the game-winning touchdown drive, multiple fourth downs, and just making it work, going to his best player. So, yes, we are leaving Russell Wilson on this cash list for yet another week. Absolutely magnificent by that man. All right, Steelers defense. Yeah, they gave up 29, but they also forced many turnovers. And how I said about, what I already said about this game is, yesterday when we were reviewing them all. Let me get to the game. Yeah, they gave up 29, but they were up 31-14 midway third quarter. So this game just kind of went on and on because the Eagles had to keep throwing the ball. So the clock was still running with the completions, not getting out of or they were getting out of bounds, having to throw the ball. Incompletion stopped the clock. So it just kind of carried out the game a little bit longer. But the Steelers kind of won this game pretty early on thanks to their defense. Carson Wentz back to throwing 2 interceptions, and we're going to leave the Steelers defense back on here for another week. Very impressed what I saw. They're creating those turnovers. And they were up 31-14 at one point, folks. That's pretty much game over. 17-point leads. That's kind of a blowout. So we'll leave the Steelers defense up another week. Aaron Rodgers, he's on a bye, so we're not going to do anything with him. We're going to leave him on. Derrick Henry plays tonight, so we'll have to come back to this cash list and see if he deserves to stay one more week. I think they will. We'll talk about Thursday. We'll preview Tuesday Night Football at the end of the show. But, I expect the Titans to really kind of run the ball this week. Joe Mixon, he had 2 touchdowns and I think over 100 yards rushing last week, but he got absolutely clamped up this week. Let's look at it. 24 carries for 59 yards. That's 2.5 carries averaging. That's not great. The run game, they did not want to abandon it, but at some point you just got to because it just was not working. So unfortunately for Joe Mixon, 1 week on the cash list is all he gets. But it was good. It was decent. It was a decent cashless performance the first time. All right, OBJ. He was all over the field in Dallas 2 weeks ago. What happened last week, though? Once again, nothing great. A little clamped up, but no worries. They still got the win. So we had 9 targets, which is good. Caught basically half of them for only 58 yards. No touchdowns. He never rushed it, or he had 1 rush for a negative yard, and then he also threw it for 18 yards, which is good. But just overall, a good game. No catch list worthy performance, in my opinion. So well done, Odell Beckham, for getting on the list, but we are going to have to take you off. All right, let's go to Dalvin Cook now. He's been rushing for 100 yards a lot throughout these first 5 games. But last week, let me try and get to the game right here. Last week, not the best. We saw what he did. 65 yards rushing, 17 carries. He did have a touchdown. It's a good, solid performance, don't get me wrong, but I think we are going to have to take him off the cash list, unfortunately. Plus, the team lost. The Vikings lost. So you know how I feel about losing teams on the cash list. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. I will make exceptions, though. All right, let's go to Mike Evans now. They played on Thursday. They get the loss. And remember, they were just kind of using him a couple weeks ago in the red zone. They opened him up this week. But, he wasn't very useful. Only 41 yards. He did have the touchdown. But overall, not the 100 yards we're used to seeing. Not the multiple touchdowns that we're kind of used to seeing. So Mike Evans, we are going to have to remove him. But we do have some additions here. So well done to Russell Wilson, the Steelers defense, and Aaron Rodgers for all continuing on this cash list. And we'll see what Derrick Henry does tonight. But we do have some people that we do need to add. So let's get into that. Our first cash list nominee is going to be Brandon Cooks. Let this man eat, and eat he did. 161 yards receiving on 8 catches and a touchdown. The Texans offense was looking very good. Loved what we saw from it, so very well done to Brandon Cooks. Welcome to the cash list. And now that the offense is firing, now that the head coach, Bill O'Brien, is outie, we can start, when was Sunday? The 11th. we can possibly keep Brandon Cooks on here for a longer time because he's going to be catching a lot more balls. The offense is cooking. The offense is going deeper down the field. So we could see a lot of Brandon Cooks here, a long longevity on this list possibly. Alrighty, the next person on the cash list for this week is going to be from the Steelers. If I can find the game. Here it is. And it's got to be the person that scored 4 touchdowns, right? Come on. We're getting Chase Claypool. Let's talk about receiving yards first. 11 targets, 7 receptions for 110 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yes, I said that right. 3 touchdowns. And then he had a rushing touchdown as well. The Steelers were going to him often, and he did not disappoint. 4 touchdown, folks, for a non-quarterback. What the heck is going on in this league? Chase Claypool, welcome to the cash list, my man. Very well done. Very well deserved. Probably the best cash list performance that we're going to see that I'm going to put up on here on this list. So very well done, Chase Claypool. Absolutely magnificent performance. That extra week really helped him out. No doubt. Alrighty, let's continue on. We are going to have to go to Miami now. We got a couple of cash list performances here. The first one we are going to do is Ryan Fitzpatrick. I kind of was doubting him in this game, but he really showed out. I mean, we're scoring touchdowns on our first 3 of 4 possessions. I mean, that's absolutely magnificent. You'll pretty much win every game if you're scoring touchdowns consistently and in the first half to kind of demoralize the squad that you're facing. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, 22 of 28, only 6 incompletions, 350 yards. This was not dink and dunk that we saw on Thursday Night Football. This was him airing it out. 22 completions, 350 yards. You do the math. That's more than 10 yards of completion, folks. 3 touchdowns, and he doesn't turn the ball over. That's what we love to see. We're used to him throwing those multiple interceptions and not great timing, but we get these Fitzmagic games, and this was definitely a Fitzmagic game. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, well done. He's actually currently on our trash list as well, so we are gonna have to take him out. Because of those multiple, I think it was 3 last week that he had. So in a game that we could have won, we could have beat Seattle last week if he was just not turning over the ball in key situations. But we learned from our mistakes, and he definitely did that. So well done, Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, we're gonna stay here for our next nominee on our cash list. We got to add the Dolphins defense. I mean, we literally made Jimmy Garoppolo sit out the entire second half, because we were getting pressure on him, we were picking him off, and we were just only holding them to what they put up 14 points in the first half. So absolutely 7 points. They only put up 7 points in the first half. 17 points in total when we're on the road and we outscore them hugely. Definitely love what I saw from Miami's defense. This Miami's team is not as bad as maybe their 2-3 record would indicate, folks. This team is the real deal offensively and defensively. We started establishing the winning culture last season. Now we're seeing the results of that. We're seeing the results of year 1 with Brian Flores develop into year 2 with all these young players that know how to win games now because of last season. So absolutely love what we're seeing. So well done to the Miami defense. We'll see how long they stay, but it was a great game either way. All right, we're going to have one more addition to this cash list, and we can't have Russell Wilson without the other GOAT, DK Metcalf, baby. In the key moments of this game, Russell Wilson goes to his best playmaker, and that he did. 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, the game-winning touchdown, and I believe the second potential game-winning touchdown. Do you have this one? He had another one in the game, but the game winner and the multiple huge catches on that last drive on 4th down, going to your best player in clutch time. That's what we like to see. So DK Metcalf, well done. Alrighty. This is gonna round out the cash list for this week. We'll see how these players do next week. See if they can make it one more week on the cash list. Now let's go to the bad side of the list, the trash side. We had Dan Quinn, Adam Gase, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Daniel Jones and Nick Mullins all on the trash list coming into this week. So let's go from the top to the bottom. Dan Quinn, he got fired, so he can't prove his coaching abilities anymore. So we are going to have to take him off the trash list. Unfortunate. Really would have loved to see him get off the trash list on his own and not have to be fired for us to have to take him off the trash list. Would have loved to see him win a game in Atlanta. Truly unfortunate. All right, Adam Gase is not fired yet, but he's still not winning games, so we will keep him on the trash list. I see his future going down the same way Dan Quinn's is. You get off the trash list because you get fired, not actually because you're not trash. So Adam Gase is going to have to stay on here another week. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we just elevated this man to the cash list, so we can't leave him on the trash list, right? Absolutely great performance, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Love it. All right, Daniel Jones, all right. Actually liked what I saw from him. Truly a game manager. Had his team in, they lost by 3 and they put up 34 points. I mean, this was because Daniel Jones was able to kind of move the ball down the field, getting some touchdowns early. I mean, they scored on their first possession. Absolutely fantastic. They got a pick 6 defensively. Yeah, I know, Daniel Jones doesn't have anything to do with that, but then they go and score a field goal on their next possession. So they're scoring twice in the first quarter to really set the tone for the game. Daniel Jones is looking good. He's just not clutch. I mean, we can't, I said this yesterday, we can't confuse not clutch for being trash, and I like what Daniel Jones is really bringing to this organization without a lot of pieces. He doesn't have Saquon Barkley anymore. I like what I'm seeing from Devontae Freeman, don't get me wrong, as the backup, but Daniel Jones, he's putting his team in positions to win the game. He's just not clutch. He's not going to make that fourth quarter touchdown throw, but he's going to give you a chance to win the game, and I don't think last week was a trash performance. They put up 34 points. He was able to drive the field, really competitive the entire game. So well done to Daniel Jones. I think he deserves to get off the trash list because of his performance. All right, and here we go. Another player on the trash list that we just have to kind of take off because they're not playing anymore. Nick Mullins, he gets... we see Jimmy Garoppolo get benched, and they bring in C.J. Beathard and not Nick Mullins, so we know this man will never play again. It will always be C.J. Beathard over Nick Mullins, and rightfully so because the man cannot play football. All right, so Adam Gase is going to be the only one continuing on with the trash list, but we do have some additions, so let's get into these now. All righty. Dan Quinn gets fired, but I still think we have to look at some other players on this Atlanta team. Matt Ryan, team is driving. You're starting to get a hang of it in the second half. You put up a field goal, then you put up another field goal, and now you're in position to tie the game. But what do? You throw an interception on the 5-yard line. That you cannot do that, man. You really got Dan Quinn fired basically because, I mean, if we're going to just magnify it on that one game, Matt Ryan 100% got Dan Quinn fired. Yes, I know Dan Quinn, has built up that kind of that pressure to get him fired, but that interception really sealed the deal, sealed their loss, and will seal Matt Ryan on this trash list. So Matt Ryan, gotta have to start improving. We can't keep placing the blame on the coaches. You have to go and step up and make these throws as well, make these plays, get your team over the finish line, close out some games, come back for some games. But Matt Ryan, because of that interception, you belong on the trash list. Alrighty, let's keep it going. We have a lot of quarterbacks to get to on this list, truly. Our next trash list nominee is going to come from Philadelphia. Carson Wentz is back to throwing multiple interceptions. Back up to 2. He's thrown 2 in every game except the game they won last week where he only threw 1, thankfully, for the Eagles. But, not looking too great. These interceptions coming at kind of crucial times. Able to cash in 7 with them, and then the last one comes when you're trying to drive, make it. I mean, the game's already over at this point. I get it. You get the ball with 3 minutes left. You're down by 9, 2 possessions, but still you throw the interception there to close out the game. Your teammates are losing faith in you, and I think we have to put you back on here. I mean, this is your second time on the trash list, my man. We got to start figuring out these turnovers. Got to start getting get off to some hot starts and not just relying on this running game, which isn't going to be, relied upon. So Carson Wentz, welcome to the trash list again. Alrighty, but we still have more to go. The next one is going to come from back to that Miami game. Jimmy Garoppolo was so awful that they had to bench him in the first half. The protection wasn't great. I get it, but he wasn't able to kind of just get the ball out of his hands. He threw 2 interceptions that I believe both resulted in touchdowns. Interception results in a field goal. Interception, second one, results in a field goal, but that was because it was basically at the end of the game. So 6 points off of those turnovers, and your head coach has to bench you because of it. So Jimmy Garoppolo, welcome to the trash list, my man. I said Garoppolo, Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's get this to a G. I will fix the spelling later if need be. All right. Let's continue on. We've got 2 more, and they're both quarterbacks. Who is going to be the next one? Well, let's go to this Browns-Colts game, and it's not going to be Baker Mayfield because he won. It's going to be Phillip Rivers. I mean, we've seen this from him. We knew this about him. This is the same Phillip Rivers from the Chargers last season. Do not get confused with the Colts 3-2 record. They had a pretty easy schedule up until this Browns meeting. So we got the Phillip Rivers we thought we knew we would saw. The multiple interceptions, the careless with the football, with the no touchdowns. This is what separates him from Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield will put up 2 touchdowns while throwing 2 interceptions, while Phillip Rivers will throw 1 touchdown with 2 interceptions, or no touchdowns, as we just saw, with 2 interceptions. So Phillip Rivers, welcome to the trash list. I mean, you just look like you don't care. I mean, yeah, we see you mic'd up and you're talking trash, but it's really garbage trash talk. It's not even good. A lot of people like it. I don't. I think it's... If you get a chance, you can go on Twitter any given Sunday and you will see a mic'd up Phillip Rivers where he's jawing at the other team, but it's not even good trash talk. And then he goes and throws 2 interceptions. Then he looks careless and the arm doesn't look good. And I'm just truly over Phillip Rivers. He never wins the big games. He's not a Hall of Famer in my opinion. He's got longevity. That's it, folks. Please do not confuse longevity for being good. Doesn't work. All right, we've got one more addition. This is not a quarterback, and we have to go to the Chargers game. Mike Bagley, man, you had the chance to win it in regulation. You could have finally broken the hump of close losses. You could have won, but this is from 50. I mean, this is expected from a kicker. This is all you do. You kick the ball. You should be practicing from 50. Why practice any closer? Hit it from 50 literally 1,000 times every day in practice, and you go here in the big moment to win the game, and your team can't count on you. Can't hit it from 50. Unfortunate. I mean, truly, kickers need to be expected to hit really anything from 55 inwards. Anything from 55 plus I can get because that is truly tough. But really anything from 55 inwards you need to be hitting on a consistent basis more than, we saw the stat. He was 2 for 5 going into that kick. So now 2 of 6 on his season from 50. I mean, that's 33%, folks. That's nothing. That's bad. That's losing 2/3 of your games because you can't kick. Unfortunate. Mike Bagley, welcome to the trash list. You're not the first kicker on here. You won't be the last, but you are currently the kicker on here. Definitely know I spelled his name wrong, but I will correct it after the video. All right, so updated the cash and trash list. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Who are the best teams? We know who the best players and the worst players are, but who are the actual best teams? So this was the NFL Power Rankings going into Week 5. New England at 10, Titans at 9, Bucks at 8, Rams at 7, Buffalo Bills at 6, Ravens at 5, Steelers at 4, Packers at 3, Chiefs at 2, and the Seattle Seahawks at 1. Alrighty, we've got some people cracking the top 10 this week. 2 new teams in. We've got a little shuffle at the top, and the middle stays about the same, maybe a shift here and there. But 2 teams coming off, 2 teams coming on. Who are they? Well, here we go. We're going to get right into it. Number 10 is no longer the New England Patriots. They didn't play this week. So, that definitely is going to play consideration into me. We see teams here and now, so we have to judge them here and now. Also, without Cam Newton, this team's not going to win any games. We know this. You're not winning a game with Jared Stidham, and you're not winning a game with Brian Hoyer with these offensive pieces that New England has. There's no A1 wide receiver that they can go to that would help out Jared Stidham and Brian Hoyer. This team is very dependent on Cam Newton. They like the run game. The run sets up the read option. The read option sets up the slants over the middle. The slants over the middle sets up the deep passes when they need to execute them. So no longer New England at number 10. They're off the list completely until we see them. We can't, it's unfortunate, but this is what it is. If we're seeing teams here and now, we have to judge them here and now and not wait. Oh, this is what the New England did 2 weeks ago. Yeah, they didn't play this week, but they also don't have Cam Newton, so we got to take them off. So the new number 10 team I got to put them on here, not because they won last week, but because of what this offense is doing and what this offense is capable of. I think I may have been wrong about them, but the new number 10 team is going to be the Oakland Raiders. I love what I'm seeing from this offense. It's fast. It's quick. It's a lot of speed guys, a lot of tall guys. I think John Gruden knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he wants. He wants speed on offense and defense. That's how I would run my team. I don't care if you really can't catch the greatest. You need to be fast. Fast wins, especially on the defensive end of the ball. I don't care if you're the biggest. I don't care if you're the strongest. I want fast linebackers. I want fast corners. I want fast safeties. I want everybody flying around the field out to the ball. That's how you win in this league because of what this league is now. It's a passing lead. We've got speedy wide receivers. The Chiefs had Tyreek Hill. I think one of the top 2 receivers in the NFL just based on his speed, and he can go up and get it. Yes, he's shorter, but the speed kills, and we're seeing it with the Raiders here. This Henry Ruggs man, ooh, he's quick, he's fast. So I love what I'm seeing from this Raiders team. Then they just went into Kansas City and won that game. They were able to kind of weather that kind of late fourth quarter where the Chiefs are very good at. They're good at being down in the fourth quarter. They can come back quick. They can strike quickly. They struck in a minute and 40 seconds, folks, or I think less than that. And then the Raiders were picking up those fourth downs on that last possession and to really chew out the clock and run it out. So love what I'm seeing from this Raiders offensively. Defense, yes, it needs to be shored up a little bit. They gave up 34 to the Chiefs. So, but I just love this offense. It's speedy, and it's kind of proving itself. We were a little shaky in those first 4 weeks, but going into week number 5, I'm judging teams just kind of based on this week. I don't care what you did those first 4 weeks. No preseason, no OTAs kind of getting thrown into the season. But this week right here, week number 5, shows us a lot, and I love what I'm seeing from the Raiders. All right, a new number 9 team, Titans, no longer number 9. The new number 9 team is going to be the Cleveland Browns. I love this offense. I love this defense, and I love the head coach. I'm not 100% on Baker Mayfield because we just saw him when he throws the ball 35 times. He's going to throw those interceptions. We know this, but he is going to throw those touchdowns because of the weapons he has. So Kevin Stefanski, I think, is going to get back to the running game. Kareem Hunt had a great game. Nick Chubb, I don't know how long he's out. He may be on IR, which isn't good. But love what this Browns team is offensively. Baker Mayfield definitely needs to turn down those turnovers. But if we're seeing what these first 4 weeks are of the first 4 weeks where they were running the ball, then they started to open it up to Baker Mayfield this week. I think they saw that may have been a mistake a little bit with those 2 turnovers, those 2 interceptions. But I mean, there's so many pieces offensively, defensively is just as good and has just as many pieces as the Browns do offensively. I think Stefanski's got a real grip on this team, real grip on how to win offensively with this team, and I think they get back to it. They put up a lot of points. The defense is good. And Baker Mayfield, he'll throw the interceptions. He'll also throw the touchdowns as well if he has to go and throw the ball 35 times. But I love this Cleveland team. I think they're proving a lot offensively and defensively. Finally, without Freddie Kitchens, this Cleveland team can be good. So they're the new number 9 team. Already, Tampa Bay falling off. They're no longer on our top 10. But we're going to have the Titans move up a spot. We're going to have the Tennessee Titans at number 8, so they move up 1. Got to see what they do this week. I mean, they're a power running team, and they've got Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, who's definitely above average game manager. He can make the deep ball throws when he needs to, but he's going to let Derrick Henry run the ball 25 times every single game. He's going to dink and dunk and then open it up when he needs to, and this is what the Tennessee Titans are. They're a power running physical team, and I expect them to really run the ball against the Bills tonight. This is going to be not pretty much a high scoring game. This is not going to be dueling quarterbacks. These are going to be dueling running backs, Devin Singletary for the Bills and Derrick Henry for the Titans. So I like what the Titans have. This is going to be a huge game for them at home, having kind of a week off. So games getting moved around, so this is huge for the Titans. How are they? This is going to be a big test, their first game out of those first 4 weeks. We'll see what the Titans have, but I love what they have on paper. Let's see how they look on TV tonight. Alrighty, the Rams are staying at 7. They kind of won me back into them of what they did last week. They put up the points. Where's this game at? They put up the points, 30 points, very good, better than the 17 last week. But they kind of struggled in the second half, only put up 10. They didn't need to put up any more because they had full control over this Washington offense defensively. Still love Aaron Donald, still love Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, all that gang on offense, defense, and I still like Sean McVay. I think he's having a great year this year, and I think he's getting back on track to one of the better head coaches in the league. So, like what this Rams team is doing, got back on track on the road this week and put up 30 points. So I can definitely get behind that. They will stay at number 7. Alrighty, number 6 is going to stay the Buffalo Bills. This is definitely one of the most complete teams that are in the league offensively and defensively. Top 5 defense, in my opinion. Top 5 offense, once again, in my opinion. Josh Allen, he's coming into his own. He turned the ball over. He fumbled the ball twice. Let's not forget that, because this is what he does. He doesn't throw the interceptions, but he fumbles the ball when he tries to get too cute running, thinks he has to put it all on him, tries to do too much on some plays, and that's what causes the fumbles. But he's cleaned it up ever since week 1. No fumbles week 2. I think he had 1 in week 3, no week 4, and I think none in week 5. So he's getting better holding onto the ball, but it still looms over him. His fumbling still looms over him, in my opinion. That's what gives me a little hesitations, but he's been proving himself, so I have to judge him based on that. But we know the fumbles will come. Will they come tonight in the big prime time slot Tuesday night football? We don't get Tuesday night football games very, very often. I would say very rarely. I would even say we haven't, but I don't know 100%, so I won't say that. But we don't get a lot of Tuesday night football games, so Josh Allen has to go on the road against a very, very good defensively hungry Titans team. This is a physical team, folks. They're in Tennessee. They have Derrick Henry. They run the ball. They tackle hard. So Buffalo, Josh Allen, we'll see how he fares. I think he'll do very good. I think the Bills win the game. I love their defense, and I love what they've got offensively. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is one of the best wide receivers in the league, and Josh Allen is definitely thankful for him. He's targeting him a lot. He's going to him a lot, and Stephon Diggs is maybe bailing out Josh Allen just a little bit sometimes. But I want to know how they fare with these fumbles. He's cleaned it up so far, so we'll leave the Bills at 6, see what they do tonight, and maybe change them around a little bit. Alrighty, number 5 is going to be still the Baltimore Ravens. Yes. All right. Is this right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Ravens are still at 5. I love their running game, and I love their defense. You hold a team to no points in this game. We're not counting the 3, remember, because it came literally last second when there was no point. So Ravens really won this one 27-3. Love their defense. Love their running game. They got running back by committee, and they're all good. Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, and J.K. Dobbins can all get it done. The one thing that concerns me a little bit, let's look at Lamar Jackson's passing yards. Only 180. He actually got outgained by Joe Burrow by 3 yards. He had 183. 2 touchdowns, which is good. 1 interception. You got to clean that up a little bit. But the Ravens offense is a little hit or miss. We saw how bad it was against the Chiefs. We're seeing how good it is now. They put up 30 points their first 2 games, but they didn't really face anybody. Chiefs was their main opponent, their hardest opponent thus far, and it's really leaving kind of a black mark on the record. Anybody can beat the bad teams bigly. We all know this, but the defense shutting out a team is truly very good. You don't really see that ever because it's a full 60-minute games. Teams do drive. So Love the Ravens on paper. Lamar Jackson's got to show up in the bigger games, and until they face another good opponent, we really can't move them too far up into the top 5. So we are gonna have to leave the Baltimore Ravens at number 5. It's unfortunate. They have a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong, but until they show it, we have to see it. We can't just keep saying, "Oh, but they've got so much talent and they could win." But we saw what they did against the Chiefs, and they were at home for that game. That's just a huge black mark in my opinion. I can't get over it. I can't see past it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Alrighty, a new number 4 spot. We are going to have a change as the top 4, and it's going to have to be the Chiefs moving down from 2 to 4. The loss, you gave up 40 points, folks. 40 points. I like the Raiders, I do, but I mean, for the Kansas City Chiefs, that's not a good game. Giving up 40 points and still waiting to break out your offense in the fourth quarter. I mean, let's look at the score going into the fourth quarter. Where's this game at? Where is this game? Right here. I mean, what do we got going into the fourth quarter? It was tied 24-24 going into the fourth quarter. So I guess 30-24, but this was kind of in the fourth quarter already. This continued into the fourth quarter. Yeah, so it carried over. They were kind of down a touchdown going into the fourth quarter with the drive that the Raiders were on. But, they kind of just got down big in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't come back. So, unfortunate. And he's also throwing interceptions in the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes is. So they just kind of get a late start sometimes offensively. You give up 40. You kind of gave up a lot of explosive plays. A little concerning. I mean, we saw it against the Chargers. We can't, we can forgive so many times. I know games are going to be close. I know games are going to come down to the fourth quarter, but can we get some offense, going into the fourth quarter, not all relying on Patrick Mahomes putting up, 20 points in the fourth quarter on the last 7 minutes if they need to. So got to clean that up a little bit. Obviously, their weapons offensively are, you can make the case for best in the league. Patrick Mahomes is going to do what Patrick Mahomes does. Tyreek Hill, absolutely love it's killer speed, folks. He will burn anybody. If he's running just a go route, it's a wrap. If they can buy the time in the pocket for Patrick Mahomes, he's going to let it fly because Tyreek Hill will beat anybody in a foot race. It's just what it is. So, Kansas City Chiefs going to move down from the 2 spot to the 4 spot. No knock on them, really. Just got to clean up their defense a little bit more. Can't be giving up 40 points and can't be, not scoring until the fourth quarter. Alrighty, that means a new number 3 squad. We're moving the Pittsburgh Steelers up from 4 to 3. I mean, I think this is such a complete team. I'm not letting the 29 points cloud my judgment. I'm calling the game 31-14, really. Game over at that point. Love what I'm seeing from Pittsburgh, offensively, defensively. I think it's the best defense in the league. They're creating those turnovers. You love to see it. They're bend it but don't break, making key stops in key times. That's what you want to see. I don't care that you had a third down stop in the second quarter with 11 minutes left, and that was the only stop that you got all game. I don't care about that. What are you doing in the fourth quarter? Are you turning the ball over? Yes or no? That's what I want to see, and Pittsburgh is doing all of it. Plus, their good defense is leading to good points offensively. Big Ben not turning the ball over, getting it open to his receivers, and they have a great receiving core: Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, and Chase Claypool. Plus, you have a Connor at the running back position, so they're loaded kind of offensively. Defensively, they've got pieces all over the place. You got T.J. Watt on the line. You've got Ryan Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden backfield. So, I mean, just so great. I love what I'm seeing from the Steelers. Beat, they got the impromptu bye week last week, 2 weeks ago, and, they were looking fresh. Didn't really faze them at all. Came out firing, got out to a hot start. Defense took over, and they win the game. So love what I'm seeing from the Steelers. Alrighty, that means we have to move the Packers up to this number 2 spot, Green Bay. Love what I'm seeing from Aaron Rodgers. He's playing just out of his mind, trying to get that MVP. They didn't play this week, so I got to keep them at number 2, definitely from what we saw from Seattle last week or on Sunday. So Green Bay is going to stay at 2. Love what I'm seeing offensively from Aaron Rodgers. It looks like he's loving Matt LaFleur. They're coming up with great schemes. They're putting up the points consistently. They're taking shots downfield consistently. They've got offensive pieces that we didn't even know were even offensive pieces. I mean, he's going to a different receiver every single game. Aaron Jones is getting it consistently done in the run game. Love it. Their defense is actually good too, and I don't know anybody on their defense. I cannot name you one defender on the Green Bay Packers, truthfully. They don't have any big names, I don't think, and they're still getting it done. So Green Bay, complete team, and with some unknown pieces. So that just speaks to how well Aaron Rodgers is having the season. Alrighty, Seattle Seahawks are staying number one. I mean, you get Russell Wilson in the fourth quarter down with a chance to win. I mean, you get the best quarterback in the league. You get the best receiver in the league. And this is the outcome, a game-winning drive, multiple fourth down conversions because they're going to their best players. Let's run through it here. I mean, this is the game-winning drive. Seahawks are down 26-21 with only a minute and 57 seconds left. I think they had one timeout maybe. So this is what we got. We got a 17-yard run by Russell Wilson, the best quarterback in the league. Then we have an couple of incomplete passes, 3 straight incomplete passes, but that does not faze the man. We got 4th and 10, and we get this big play. Best quarterback going to your best wide receiver, the best wide receiver in the league. This is looking like Justin Herbert on this play. Look at him. Just let it go to DK Metcalf. A lot of people are like badly judging the Seahawks for this play. It's 4th and 10, and you're going to your best receiver on a one-on-one matchup. Why are we penalizing this team because of that? Why are we doing that? A lot of people like to hate greatness. This team is pure greatness all the time. 4th and 10, folks, and they go a deep shot because they're trusting their best wide receiver, their best weapons. Their 2 best weapons offensively are Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. Who touched the ball in that 4th and 10 play? Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. So they're going to their key pieces in clutch time. That's what you want to see from the best teams, right? Correct? I want to see your big players stepping up in big spots, and the Seahawks do that. So they pick up that first down, and now they're driving again, another 17-yard pass. Another pass incomplete, but he follows it up with another 15-yard pass. Couple incomplete passes that set up a 4th and goal. And what does Russell Wilson do again? He goes to DK Metcalf again. 6-yard touchdown pass on 4th and goal from the 6 of Minnesota, and Seahawks get it done. So I'm not penalizing them being down in the fourth quarter. I'm celebrating the greatness of this squad in clutch moments. I mean, can you get any more clutch than 4th and 10? When you in the fourth quarter with time ticking down and you're down 6 points, we're not penalizing the squad here, folks. Russell Wilson is truly great. This entire Seahawks defense is bend but don't break. I mean, they're bending but not breaking. What happened in that Patriots game? Goal line situation with Cam Newton, 4th and goal, time running out. What happens? A big stop defensively. What happened here in this Minnesota game? Absolutely fantastic. Mike Zimmer chooses to go for it on 4th and 1 at Seattle 6 instead of taking the field goal that would put them up 8. And what do they do again? They shut it down. I mean, are you comfortable with your team on 4th and goal stopping a team defensively from the win? I would say 9 times out of 10 you're not. So this Seattle Seahawks team is so bend but don't break, and that's what I look for in defenses. I don't care that you shut, as I said, I don't care if you shut somebody down in the second half with 11 minutes left. That shows me nothing. What happens in crunch time? How well are you coached? Are you all buying in? Is everybody giving 110% late in games when everybody's exhausted? This team does it, and they're 5-0 because of it. They're winning games. They're facing adversity early. They're building their resume. They're building their confidence. They're building their stamina, and I absolutely love it. And a lot of people are knocking this team for winning these close, tight games. I say we celebrate it because of how well this defense is coached, how well everybody is buying in. Pete Carroll has this team playing on all cylinders for an entire game, folks. From the starting whistle to the ending whistle, this team is going to give you 150% every game, offensively, defensively. We're getting the greatness of Seattle's offense and defense literally every single week. So as long as we're seeing that, we're going to keep them at number 1, and the Seahawks will reclaim or keep their number 1 spot. As I said, I mean, this is NFL's ESPN's top 10. They're finally putting the Seahawks in the power rankings. We've been there. They've been our number 1 team since week 1, folks. We've been buying into Seattle. We've been buying into Russell Wilson. And this is where, I'm going to go into the comments because everybody is like, hang on, why? Y'all really watched the Seahawks and said, yep, that's the best team? Yes, we did, because they're getting it done in the clutch. That's what I want to see you succeed. Are we supposed to say the Chargers are the best team because Joe Burrow's throwing 4 touchdowns and looking very very good, but he can't make it up in clutch time? Is that what we're supposed to do? Like, we're basing the best teams on who's winning the game and how they're winning them. Yes, they're close, but the defense down the stretch and then the offense down the stretch in clutch time, folks, I can't overstate it enough. This team is truly good. Yes, another fluky win over a one-win team. Got it. Okay. I mean, people love to hate in the comments. Truly, we're not falling for it. Don't fall for it. How are the Seahawks the best team in the NFL? Win after that game, the defense stopped the Vikings on 4th and 1 on their own 6-yard line, and then you only have like one timeout with under 2 minutes left, and Russell Wilson drives 94 yards. So yes, this is the best team in the NFL. Oh my goodness, these comments are getting me riled up now. Bills being disrespected. I mean, they're in the top 5, folks. Relax. I know everybody loves to say that the Bills are being disrespected and Josh Allen needs to be apologized to, but no, they don't. Relax. They're getting their due. They're in the top 5. They're in my top 6. No, they're not. They're number 6 on mine. So I mean, they're getting their respect, folks. Let's relax a little bit. He still fumbles the ball. We can't forgive. All right. Are those all the comments? There's more, folks. There's more. Trust me. Coming from a Seahawks fan, I don't know if they really deserved to win that game. They didn't deserve to win that game. They didn't deserve to win a game that they played an entire 60 minutes of football, coming down to the wire and getting a 4th down stop. I mean, truly, I don't know what people are thinking, honestly. I think people are out of their minds when they talk sports sometimes, but maybe I'm out of my mind. I don't think I am. But I don't know. I don't know. I gotta stop looking at the comments because they're truly making me upset. All right. Let's see. Come on, that was an exciting game, but how are you gonna give them the top spot when they played more than half the game like total ass? I mean, folks, teams are going to go through slumps. Teams are not going to look good every single possession. It's how you finish. How do you play an entire 60 minutes of football? I mean, the game is not over until the final whistle blows. So I don't like how people are saying, oh, they didn't play a full great 60 minutes of football from the start to the end, where they were scoring touchdowns on only 2 plays, and they only took 10 seconds off the clock on every single drive, and they were stopping everybody on 3rd down, and they were getting 40 interceptions a game. I mean, folks, that's totally unrealistic. Nobody's going to have a flawless game. It's how you play an entire 60 minutes. It's how you're playing in the 4th quarter. It's how well you're coached. It's how well everybody buys in. Are your key playmakers making big plays in the key moments? And the Seahawks literally check every single box I just said, literally. Alrighty. I think we're done looking at the comments. I'm just trying to prove my point. I'm a Seahawks fan, and I am here to say that this is laughable. Oh, it's laughable. Offense is clearly deadly, but the defense is beyond lost. Oh, they're beyond lost. Oh, so they were beyond lost on the 4th and goal, and they were also beyond lost stopping Cam Newton on the 1-yard line. How many teams are stopping Cam Newton on the 1-yard line? Let me know, please, folks. Who is stopping them? Who is stopping them besides Seattle? Maybe the Steelers. The Steelers could do it. That's it. Maybe Buffalo. So 3 teams. But, yeah, obviously, Seahawks being number 1 is laughable. All right, I got to stop. Woo, it gets me fired up. Seahawks are the best team in the league. I don't care what anybody says. It's how you play an entire game of football, folks. Alrighty, that is going to do it today. Enough praise of Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, right? Alrighty, tomorrow we will review Tuesday Night Football, Titans, Bills. We will go into our in-depth film review as well. A couple of games I want to look at. Let's look at Daniel Jones. He had a good game. Let's look at Baker Mayfield. Might spend a little bit on the Dolphins. It was a total blowout. Won't learn too much from them. I want to show the Steelers game and how well their defense was, and show that the actual kind of score should have been 31-14 at the end. We'll talk. We got to show Derek Carr. I mean, we haven't shown the Raiders at all. Let's see how they're doing. Texans, how well are they playing now that they're kind of playing without a head coach? We'll look at them. We'll look at Matt Ryan's interception that sent that got Dan Quinn fired. We'll probably look at the Seahawks again because they're so damn good. And we'll look at Andy Dalton. We have to see how he's playing. We didn't see any touchdowns from him, but 9 of 11 for 111 yards. How well did it look? We'll deep dive into him because he's going to be the quarterback for the Cowboys for the rest of the season. So all that in our film review on tomorrow, as well as updating our cash and trash list and our NFL rankings if we need to because of what the Titans and Bills do tonight. So be sure to follow me on Twitter at Takes by Fans and be a part of the conversation. Come watch live daily. We're here daily, noon Eastern, y'all. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday again, and Sunday again. We are here 24 hours a day for 1 hour a day, but we're here every day. So twitch.tv/takesbyfans, takesbyfans.com. We have our own website, folks. Go and explore it. Everything we talk about is on the website. You can watch on the website. Our social media is all on the website. So go there for all your Takes by Fans needs. Alrighty, we'll be back here tomorrow, noon Eastern. Come out. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you